Hey guys, this is Paper Nest. I'm making this video about my Worm-Naga deck.
And this is my whore.
And with me I have Nerf Recklessness to help comment on my deck. Alright, to start this thing off, we have one Naga. If you don't know what it does, basically it gains 500 for every reptile in the grave, unaffected by spells, traps, or effects, and if it deals battle damage 3 times, you won the duel. Alright, in addition, I also run Triple Phenomenon. Basically what this does is it gains 500 per reptile in the grave, and if it's destroyed by battle, you can banish a reptile, bring it back. Worm-Naga has that same effect. This card, the reason why I run 3 is because you need 3 for this kind of deck. Moving on to the worms, I have Double King. This is a great card, whether it be helping to control what your opponent has in the field, act as a beat stick in conjunction with Nebula. It's just a great card. I love this thing so much. Alright, moving towards my milling engine, I run Triple X. What this guy lets me do is he lets me, well, mill worms, which helps, one, let me draw Rise easier, lets me draw Offering easier, just lets me draw stuff a bit easier, and can work in conjunction with Worm-Naga. So now I gotta move these over. Alright, with Yagen, one, if it's in conjunction with Zex, if you have nothing on your side in the field, if it's, say for example, just Zex on the field, and Yagen in your graveyard, you can special summon Yagen and face down defense, giving good field presence, and its effect is also pretty good for when it gets flipped up, which will do bounce back cards. Alright, now I have 2 Carteros as my search engine, Apocalypse to destroy the back row, simple enough. I have 2 Line Alligators to act as both a beat stick and as a way to grant, say for instance, Phenomenon Trample. I run 1 Oceanian. This card, it can act as a bit of a decoy. It's kind of like Marauding Captain, but not as good. And it lets me search for Phenomenon, Apocalypse, and Alien Grey, who I run as pretty much draw power. Moving on to the spells, I run Double Duality, which lets me draw cards, and this deck doesn't summon all the time, so I don't have to worry too much. I run 2 trade-ins to let me dump Phenomenon and to draw 2 cards, and it combos with a card that you'll see later on in this deck. Now moving on to some more of the staples, I run Heavy Storm and Dark Hole, simple enough. I run 2 MSTs, Book of Moon. I think it's a great card. I run 1 Reborn, simple enough. I run Future Fusion, which works alongside Worm Zero, which is in my extra deck, to help 1 dump worms, and 2 Zero can act kind of as a beat stick. Alright, moving on to the traps. I have 2 Rise of the Snake Deity, which is what you need in conjunction with Phenomenon Special Summon, Worm-Naga. I run 2 Limit Reverse. This is why I run Trade-In, because I can play Trade-In during the opponent and set this during the opponent's turn, use this, special summon it, swing Phenomenon to defense, destroying Phenomenon, bring out Naga, Offering, which is Offering to the Snake Deity, which lets me destroy 1 reptile I control and 2 cards the opponent controls. It's essentially Icarus attack, but for reptiles, I love this card because it also lets me get rid of Phenomenon to bring out Naga. I run 2 Nebulas, which lets me draw cards, or special summon King and activate flip effects. For my so-called stall power, I run Mirror Force and Scrap Iron. I'm surprised how many people run Scrap Iron. Honestly, I love this card, because basically I can, assuming it doesn't get destroyed, it lets me once per turn negate an attack. Alright, I run 1 Bottomless, 1 Dark Bribe, and I run Solemn Judgment and Solemn Warning. I don't run the full brigade because I'm not a big fan of losing all those life points. But even then, as it is, having these 2 is still really good. I mean, I know we're having 2 warnings would be so much better. And moving on to the very small extra deck. Bam! Alright, Utopia, because this deck can reach rank 4 very easily. I wish I had another one. but whatever, I'll just buy one. And then finally, I have Worm Zero to, again, work along with Future Fusion, and hypothetically, if I have Zero and Offering, I can just play Offering to add one more Reptile to the grave. Alright, so here's my deck. As far as actually using it goes, I've played it predominantly casually, and it's done well. Like, it doesn't win every single duel I'm in, but generally it does well. If you have any comments or suggestions, please tell me, but don't be like a dick about it, essentially, because I don't feel like dealing with trolls. Alright, this is Papernest. I'll be back with another deck list video, and play me out in it, Reckless.